Week 2 of the Diddy trial just cracked wide open, and baby, the silence is over. Justin Bieber has finally come out swinging against Sean Diddy Combs. And not just a vague statement. We're talking a bombshell confession, names, accusations, and Hollywood tremors that could take down the entire industry. So get ready, because the moment Justin spoke up, the whole courtroom went into shock.
He's coming back out and it's all of a sudden.
I'm scared that the security will pull out. I'll fucking run it.
I do feel bad, sorry for him. We're all trying to bombard.
Oh my God, I thought they were close to me.
What care about, guys? It's money. You don't care about people. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. Go. Go. Go.
That's right. Prosecutors just walked into court like they owned the place and dropped a list that had jaws on the floor. Over 100 names. You heard that right. A list of listers. Movie stars, rappers, executives, all allegedly tied to Diddy. And this ain't speculation anymore. It's evidence. Pure, brutal, courtroom certified evidence. While the public has been rallying behind Cassie, y'all, Hollywood has been pushing a very different agenda behind the scene. You remember that Kanye moment? Yep, there's a whole secret campaign to get Diddy a pardon from Trump. The nerve. And guess who's on that list? Michael B. Jordan. Kanye West, Mike Myers, the room went cold. According to NBC, this list was shown to potential jurors to gauge bias, but let's be honest, nobody drops A-list names like that unless they know they'll be referenced. Attorneys didn't even bother explaining it. Suspicious? You bet. Cassie Ventura's name on the list. Don Richard? Yup. Every woman who stood up to Diddy? Front and center. But let's talk about the bomb Justin dropped. Justin's reps, after years of silence, finally broke it. And while they claimed Diddy didn't directly abuse Justin, they made it crystal clear something dark was going on. And Justin supports everyone brave enough to speak out. Let that sink in. Justin Bieber, teen pop icon, Usher's golden boy, is saying there was truth behind the whispers, behind the rumors, behind the pain.
Justin Bieber breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about.
We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry.
Flashback to little Justin, just 13 years old, signed by Usher. Everyone thought this was a dream come true. But then, boom, Diddy enters the picture. No one knows why, but suddenly Justin was in Diddy's custody. No, he wasn't a manager, not a mentor, not even an official advisor. So why was a global superstar in the making suddenly under the thumb of one of the most controversial figures in the industry?
I was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio, and who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up, and I was like, is that who I think it is? And Scooter was like, yeah. And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like, what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
Signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right,
doing?
young brother, everything's good.
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything.
Yeah.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
The allegations only get darker from here. Insiders say Diddy used Justin, possibly even pimped him out to other celebs. There are tapes, there's footage, Justin looking terrified, sitting next to Diddy at wild parties he had no business attending. People are now digging up old videos and the vibes are chilling. Justin's eyes, screaming. His smile, fake. His body language, uncomfortable, doesn't even cover it.
Welcome to the family, John. Bad boy. Check my bitch, I'ma break it again. Feds peeping the spot. Hey, Feds outside, like them Yeezys go dry. Yeah, she think. Watch a little bitch, you get it mad. I'm getting rich, you get it mad. I'm getting rich.
Cookouts, yeah, that's why I'm standing on Ferraris, yeah. In the 6'4", 6'5", too big for a Bugatti. That's why I'm standing on Ferraris,
Even worse, Justin has spoken up about how Usher ruined his career. In his own words, Usher hurt him. And why? Because Usher was the one who delivered Justin to Diddy like some twisted offering. Sources say Diddy couldn't get to Justin directly, so Usher signed him as a favor. What kind of favor does that? Distance has been distancing himself hard, refusing to work with Usher, even turned down the Super Bowl performance that Usher begged him to join. You don't do that unless there's trauma, deep, painful trauma.
You get career. Do you know Raymond Usher IV? No. Do you know an individual, an entertainer by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher. That sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to harass the client.
Before we came back here, you had asked me.
She's going to let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory. Is it true that Usher was very instrumental in starting your career?
That was the last question. I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
The Bieber, Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Of course, many people, I believe, are accurately assuming that this has something to do, one element has to do with the Diddy lawsuit. A lot of revelations were made in the Diddy lawsuit. So I'm going to start this by saying allegedly. Okay, obviously, he has not yet been convicted of everything, but I knew that he was going to get arrested because after reading through this lawsuit, there were just so many pictures, way too many descriptions. He had hours of video footage proving his claims. I'm referring to the person who initially filed this, Rodney Lil Rod, a producer, who went into great detail, laborious effort to basically describe almost a homosexual ring in which people were being drugged at various Diddy parties. But he describes how essentially him, being a young producer, they tried to initiate him into homosexuality. And I'm going to read this directly from a lawsuit. It says, quote, Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, used access to Stevie J and his knowledge that the producer, Mr. Jones, admired Stevie J to groom and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. But then there's a footnote in the filing, right? Because the names are redacted. And in the footnote, it reads that regarding the R&B singer that Diddy allegedly slept with, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. So let's let people know that very clearly the name that was redacted had to have been Usher, because it was Usher who recently performed at the Super Bowl, and it was Usher at the time of this filing who had just had a very successful Vegas residency.
In a heart-wrenching interview with Apple Music, Justin got brutally honest. He still feels shame to this day, not over his behavior, but over what was done to him. The lies, the manipulation, the predators lurking in Hollywood's shadows. Justin's mission now, to protect the next generation, the young artists, the wide-eyed kids walking into the same industry that nearly destroyed him.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I don't want to, never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah, so yeah, I just want to protect her, I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Justin admitted that he turned to drugs because the memories were too much to bear. He was trying to escape the nightmares, the flashbacks. This isn't just about him anymore. It's about a pattern, a sick pattern in Hollywood. Kids are handed over, groomed, exploited. And where are the parents? Right there, smiling, cashing in, playing along.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that?
But here's what sends chills down our spine. Diddy didn't pull this off alone. No way. The industry is built on this behavior, this disgusting underworld of exploitation. That's how Diddy got away with it for so long, because the machine protected him. And Usher, he knew what Diddy was. After all, Diddy took him to Puffy Flavor Camp when he was just 13. Let that sink in. Usher saw the pattern, and instead of breaking the cycle, he pushed Justin into it. That's the torch of trauma. That's how victims become groomers. That's how the chain never ends.
They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was gonna happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours.
And then you have them come to audition for you, right?
Actually, with a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts? Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of man he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man. Come on.
But Justin fought back in his own way. In his Yummy music video, he dropped clues. Clive Davis was subtly exposed. The theme, child exploitation in the music world. Babies were featured in the promo. It was haunting, symbolic. He was trying to scream the truth without saying it directly. But now, he's done being subtle.
So anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Yeah, look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's time to...
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that.
You know I got balloons.
Get that off of there. Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood for you guys.
This is Hollywood. This is what goes on behind the red carpets and award shows. Every time Justin tried to escape, Diddy pulled him back in. And with Usher also calling the shots, there was no way out. They blackmail you. They tell you if you speak, your career is over. You'll be blackballed, erased. And Justin, he lived that reality.
You see now you pressing Bieber. Yeah. Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering. Yeah, that was low.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird.
They did not run through Bieber at that point. They was pressing him like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
Yeah. Like, I don't got a video of me fingering you.
He wasn't answering for a reason. He was like, I don't ever fingered last time. Because you did things to me.
And it wasn't just Justin. Let's not forget Cassie. Diddy started grooming Cassie when she was 19, and he was 40, a grown man sleeping with a teenager, and nobody in Hollywood flinched. That says everything. Cassie, now a survivor, said the more she remembers, the more it hurts. But she's proud that she stood up and stopped a monster. Justin is still healing. But it's clear now, he's not staying silent anymore.
Groomed that young girl. Took that impressionable young girl who wanted to be a star, who wanted all her dreams that she had to come true, and fed her drugs, fed her pills, fed her alcohol, and fed her mushrooms and things that she never took before, to F her mind up, and then put her in a position that she thought that what little that she had, that she didn't want to lose it. If you didn't think that he did something and did that to her, bruh, I gotta say something wrong with you.
This week has been extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. I am glad to put this chapter of my life to rest. As I turn to focus on the conclusion of my pregnancy, I ask for privacy for me and for my growing family. And then I have a statement from Alex Fine. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. You know, I don't want to get into the province of what the jury is going to be deliberating on in this case, and all I would say and repeat is that my view as her lawyer, a witness to this case and not a party, is that she was brutally honest. She was candid. and she told it how.
And then there's Dawn Richard. The Danity Kane star stepped up and laid it all out in court. She testified that Diddy sexually harassed her and her group mates, that he groped her, walked in on her naked, touched her inappropriately, even forced her to undress. And it doesn't stop there. Dawn says she once saw Diddy throw a skillet full of eggs at Cassie during a fight in 2009. This man is violent, dangerous, deranged. She was so scared she couldn't move, couldn't speak. That's how abusers keep their power, through fear. Dawn's lawsuit even claimed Diddy would hold meetings in just his underwear, demanding she strip, making fun of her body. And all of this happened under the public's nose for years. But wait, here's where things take a terrifying turn. We're now learning that Justin might still be scared to testify. And honestly, can we blame him? Because if Diddy did all this and so many knew, why did no one stop him? Because he wasn't alone. Hollywood protected him, enabled him, even celebritied him. Let's talk about the list again. The one juror saw. Because baby, it's not a coincidence that the names on that list are some of the most powerful in entertainment. They weren't just random mentions. No, they were potential witnesses, enablers, or worse. And some of them, they're still walking red carpets like nothing ever happened. The names might not have been officially implicated in the charges, but come on. Why else would they be shown to the jury? Even Kanye West, who's made headlines for defending the indefensible, was on that list. And now we know why. Behind the scenes, some of these stars are lobbying for a Trump pardon for Diddy. Let that sink in. They'd rather protect a predator than let their secrets come out, because once Diddy falls, the rest are next, and the pressure is crushing them. Cassie's not backing down. She already gave her statement after testifying, and it was heartbreaking. She said the more she remembers, the more it hurts. But she's proud that she finally took down her abuser, that she stopped him from hurting someone else. You can see it in her eyes. Relief, exhaustion, pain, but also strength. And what you said could easily be said by Justin too, because behind Justin's fame, his music, his public appearances, there's a young man who was robbed of his innocence, who had to navigate a world of predators with no protection, no real support. And it all ties back to that moment he was signed. It wasn't just shocking, it was the smoking gun. She described in full detail the abuse she endured under Diddy. He walked into her changing room, touched her without permission, ordered her to strip down, mocked her body, held meetings in his underwear, fully aware that she was uncomfortable. And when she protested, he ignored it. She even said she witnessed Diddy beat Cassie with a skillet full of eggs at his LA home. Can you imagine? She was so scared, she froze. That's what these predators count on, fear. Silence, but not anymore. The survivors are speaking, the victims are testifying, and the industry, it's quivering. So now we ask, why isn't Justin taking the stand? Some say he's still scared, that Diddy's team has ways of intimidating anyone who dares speak out. And let's be real. A look at how others have disappeared. Coincidental illnesses, sudden ghosting, vanishing acts. But Justin's public statement? It's a middle finger to the silence, a loud, defiant, I know what you did, I remember everything, and I'm not protecting you anymore. That one gesture has cracked the whole thing open, because when a victim finds their voice, even if it shakes, it can bring down an empire. And make no mistake, Diddy's empire is crumbling. From the lavish parties to the mansion gates, the walls are closing in because the truth has claws. And it's finally tearing through the lies. From Bieber's shocking revelation to the sea of stars now under scrutiny, this isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. Hollywood's darkest secrets are being dragged into the light. And week by week, the trial is only getting more explosive. Names will keep coming out. Ties will be exposed, powerhouses will fall. And Justin, he might have been their puppet once, but now he's the match that lit the fire. So buckle up, because if you thought this week was jaw-dropping, next week might just burn the whole house down. Don't miss a second, subscribe, hit that bell, and stay right here for your exclusive front row seat to the most shocking Hollywood unraveling of our time.